Hello everyone. Welcome back for another Across the Waves. This is where Vicki and I choose one technique, idea, product to focus on and share cards with you. This month our focus is going to be watercolor pencils. So I pulled in some pencils to play with, and I'm using this month the Steampunk Graffiti kit. I need to bust this kit. I've got a bunch of kits I want to bust, so I decided to try this one this month. I'm really challenging myself. From the kit, I chose two papers, this one and this one. And I got my colors for this one from this pink. I did pull in some other ephemera. Not certain if I'm going to use it. We'll find out. So I am going to add a flower, and I've chosen this flower, and I'm going to die cut it. So I have my die cut, and here are my pieces for my card. Now I do also have some of those rustic metallic dots. May use them, may not, depends on what it looks like. All right, I have a panel that's going to go on my card. And I used an old script embossing folder, and I've embossed it. That's going to go on this piece of hot pink. All right, so I'm going to add that to my, I'll build my card as I go. And I am using double-sided tape because when you emboss something, you get peaks and valleys, plateaus and valleys, whatever you want to call them. And I find that if you use glue or anything else, or if you use the glue mainly, it goes down into the valleys and you lose all that surface area to make sure that the card stays together. This does not sink down in the valleys, so I know my card is not going to fall apart on me. All right, or the recipient when they get it. Would be horrible to send a card to someone and then they open it and it falls apart on them. So I try to use good adhesive. All right, now let me, all right, doesn't really matter because I've got to adjust it. And again, I'm using a slight border. All right, and I'm going to put that on my card base, like so. Now, I am not a steampunk girl. I'm more of a clean and simple. This has really been a challenge. It took me quite a while to come up with yesterday's card and today, and then I have to do it all over again next weekend. So you'll have to let me know if you're a steampunk person how I did. And if not, let me know how I did anyway. All right, now I'm taking this piece and I'm going to put it on a piece of the purple, the pink. And again, slight border. And because I'm going to put this on the raised part, I'm going to use my double-sided tape again. I do this every time I lay it down and I don't know where it is. So let me add my tape all the way around. And I don't know if I'll use any of the pieces to hang out from behind. I did pull a sentiment. I don't know if I'm going to use it. We'll see. I never know. All right. This I'm putting down flat. I'm going to take this other piece and I'm going to mount it on a piece of gray, and I will pop that up because I want it to, all right, I got to make sure there are words on here. It says sigh right there, so I want to make sure it goes on correctly, and I'm going to put it in the middle like so. All right, now this piece is going to go on here. Like so. And I chose to mount it on a piece of gray just to kind of break up some of that pink. And this is going to go on over here, and it's going to go on with dimensionals. So I'm going to take some bigger ones that I have that I've cut in half. These are higher. These are, I think they're like 3 millimeter. I'm finding I like the 1 and the 2 millimeter the best. But you don't know until you order them all and try it. All right, so there's that. All right, this is going to go over here like so. All right, there we got it. Now, time to do my flower. So I'm going to pull in my flower, and I'm going to stamp it with Memento. And I hope this ink pad, I had to re-ink one of my other ones the other day. This one may need it also. Let's see. Okay. Ah, good. I do need to re-ink those though. All right, now I'm going to pull in my blender pen and my watercolor pencils, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to add color, and I'm going to try and do some blending out. All right, that I want light. And I am pressing fairly hard. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, now you need to scribble off. Don't let it sit, even though I'm going to use it again till it runs clear, because it will stain your pen and go up into the pen inside, and then you have to use it for the pink. And I'm trying to give it some interest. And the other thing that I'm doing is when I pick up my pencil, I'm rotating it slightly because it works better if it has a nice point to it. All right. I also find I do better if I rotate my image. One more. There we go. All right, let's clean that off. Now, that's not bad. I didn't do the center. Let me see what I can find with what I have. Okay, I pulled out this one that I'm going to put in there. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some brown and lightly go over it and mix the two together. I don't want it bright. That's not bad. And then the same thing is with the green, because the green I have is really bright. and I don't want it bright. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to color first with the green, and this one I'm going really light with. And then I'm going to come back over it with the brown to get it to kind of blend in. It needs to, I don't know, steampunk is kind of grungy. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, not bad. You can mix your scribble off again, your colored pencils to get colors you want. That's not bad. Now, if you don't like that and you want it, the brown to show up more, you really cannot do it until this is really dry. So that's why I didn't go back over it. I think it'll be okay on there. Let's see if I can add some more brown. You don't want to go over your image too many times either. Oh, that's a little bitter, because it will cause your paper to pill. Okay, I'm going to leave it, because if I don't, I'm going to pill my paper. All right, let me cut this out. Okay, I've got that. Now, this is going to go on here like so, but I'm thinking I might need some pieces behind it. Let's see. Ooh, I can put that there. That's too many colors. Let me see what else I have in my kit that I can take and pull out. Okay, I pulled out some cogs, and I'm thinking I might use the top of that and cut off the bottom, you know, just for some interest. We'll see. I've also pulled out this because I was thinking, okay, I could take and watercolor on this with the green and the brown and see what happens. So let me get a scrap piece of paper, because the one I didn't think about what I was doing and I cut the whole thing off. Here we go. I just need a scrap piece of paper. And I'm going to go over it with the brown. And let's see what we get. If it doesn't work, it's just a tag. It really needs some more brown. See, it's pilling on me. I got most of it off. That'll work. That doesn't look too bad. That's what happens if you go over it too many times with the blender pen. It pills because it's not watercolor paper, and that's like a watercolor. All right, let's see how I can do some surgery on this. Only because then I can save it to use for something else. All right. We'll see. All right, now this is going to go here. So let me get my dimensionals. I've got everything piled up over here, so I got to move it around. All right, and I'm going to go to my tiny ones. All right, there's that. Let's stick that one on next. I'm going to put it on this corner. Oop, it's not quite dry. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the back off, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. Stick this down like so, and then I can come in and stick it on there. There. Right now, let's get some cogs in here. One over here. Ooh, put my top back on. I don't think I'll need any more. Let me and I'm gonna glue this one on because it's not a lot of space for the foam adhesive. All right, so I'm gonna put it there, and I'm gonna glue this one on. Over here. Nope, I want it this way. There. All right. Now, I'm thinking I need some ribbon. Let me see what I have. Okay. Let's see. Nope, gotta have it bigger. Now, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna unravel this, but I needed to see how much I need. If you have ribbon, well, this is more twine, and it's too thick. A lot of times this is way too thick for me. So what I do is I take it apart. So you cut the length that you need, and then you just start pulling it. And it does take a while, so I'm going to do that and then I'll be back. All right, I just wanted to show you an easy way to do this is to take and pull and then twist this other one, because it's twisted on there and it gets messed up in a knot. So what I do is I just do this and it works. Okay, I untied the other knot, the other one. So you get 3 strands out of it. And I needed to have a piece to tie it off. So I'm going to go this way. Okay, I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to make sure this is untwisted. Put this down. I'm going to tie my knot. Don't pull it tight till you see if you've got it centered, so that your loops are about the same size. And when you got them there, pull it tight. All right, now I can cut this off, and then I can use this on the other one and make another one. I'm going to pull my threads down. And I'm basically going to pull everything down in a thing at the bottom, and I'm looking for glue dots, and I think these are all empty. I save them for when I'm doing my painting. Let me get another sheet. Okay. All right, now. And I'm going to take this. Oh, I put that on the wrong side, but that's okay. I'll just put it on that side. I'm going to put this here, and I'll finagle it when I get it on my card. All right. All right, there. That had a glue dot on it, so it's good. Now let me put, oh, I need to cut this in half. I'm going with the big ones here, the thicker ones. Because this is pretty thick. There. I've got this. And I'm thinking I'm going to set that there. I need one. I'm just going to stack them up this way. Is that enough? Yes. So I need two. All right, then I need another one over here. So let me take this off. Put this on top. And this under here to hold it in place to give it support. And then I need one more over here. So let me, there. All right, I've got all that straight. Let me get rid of this, grab my ribbon scissors, and play with this. I'm just going to kind of pull it up. So you're making some loops and just something for some interest. And there's today's steampunk idea. And now let's add our gems. I think I'm going to use one here, one here, and one here. And then to really draw attention to that flower, let's put two down here. Okay, there it is. What do you think? Does it look like it would go for steampunk? And I use that same flower to stamp the inside and the envelope. Now I will tell you, when you do your envelope, it's different paper, it's not quality paper. Really be careful with it. Make sure you head on over to Vicky's, link is below, and see what she did for coloring with watercolor pencils or just colored pencils this week. I hope you'll be back next week to see what we do and see what I play with steampunk. And let me know if you think this is a good idea. Have a sensational Sunday. Bye.